A few days ago, Kirsten and I were walking and talking about seminary. And I'm so grateful for what we've learned. The classes, the content, excellent. But we were instead talking about how much seminary has helped me in a different way, which was really in shaping my character. There were lesser things, like I had to learn how to prioritize and organize and not procrastinate. Like I said, I was never student minded or an exemplary student in any way. But more than that, seminary has really shaped who I am and in following Christ. And I've been so impressed and glad, just joyful looking back at seminary, that the biggest changes were not up here. They're actually down here. I'm grateful to Bethlehem and our staff and you guys for shaping me in that way. Grateful to God He's used it in that way.
One of the ways that I have changed is that I am much slower to assume things about people based on their personality, based on their theological background, based on their appearance, or whatever else I might be prone to base my assumptions on. Because as I've gotten to know each one of you and others in our cohort, I've realized how wrong initial perceptions of mine can be, and how important it is to get to know somebody before you make judgments about them. So that's one thing that I'm very grateful to walk away with here, is through our experience. I hope I'll be slower to judge others.
Would have been interesting if we would have taken a survey judging each other before we came. Hey, what do you think that Andrew guy's like? What do you think Jeremiah's like? I'd be interested to know what you guys would have said about me. You don't need to tell me. But prior to coming here, and in our few little interactions on Zoom when we were getting to know each other, it's become overly apparent to me throughout seminary that where I spend the most mental energy throughout the day is thinking about myself. Either thinking about what I think others perceive me as, or what greatness I could achieve at some point in life. I think I just, dreaming all day long, fantasizing. I think I came here with some of that, thinking, in a sense, that a place like Bethlehem, with some successful people coming out of it, maybe I could glean some of that. Mastering some biblical skills, I could wield this in a way that would make something of me. That's all a shame. Obviously, you guys know that. The world's not about me. I think about the change, kind of a lasting voice in my head is Dr. Howard in Old Testament survey saying a few times, the Bible is about God. The Bible is about God. I mean, you think, right? So you open it up, you go past the table of contents. In the beginning, God. And I think about how often I read the Bible, and I'll read even in Genesis 1, all about God, what He's doing, and I'm thinking about me. Either look at all the insights I've found in the text, and now I'll tell you, and you'll be impressed by how smart I am. Or what can I do to make my life better, become a better person, those sorts of things. All good things, yes, not bad. But I miss the blatant, the obvious. And we came to the school that, of all places, I think, should fix that, right? We love the supremacy of God in all things, not the supremacy of me. Now, Bethlehem has not cured me of that ill, but the Lord has used Bethlehem to shave off some of that self, and especially when engaging with the Scriptures, to enjoy the simplicity and the beauty of just seeing God for a little while. That's been a real pleasure.
Yeah, I think over the course of the last 3 going on 4 years now, more and more I've seen my weaknesses. I'm sure as you guys have experienced to some degree, whether it's the academics or the relational hardships, or even like reading about faithful men, reading from faithful men, hearing faithful men as our teachers and our brothers, just seeing over and over again, like, wow, who is sufficient for these things? Like, who would have picked me for this sort of pursuit? And so just recognizing over these 4 years at BCS, exposing again and again who's sufficient for these things, and yet being encouraged by even the story of Pilgrim's Progress, of Christian progressing step by step closer and closer to the celestial city, and being encouraged that the Lord is faithful and he will bring it to pass. He will carry us despite our weaknesses. He will carry me despite my weaknesses and deficiencies. So even though in a large way, I feel like my time at seminary has exposed so many weaknesses and faults and places I've needed to grow and address and continue to need to grow and address in, it also has comforted me with the word and with the joy, the awesome truth that the Lord will never abandon us nor forsake us, but is carrying us as we persevere towards him, and will bring us to himself in the end.
Amen.
That's excellent. I want to add to that so grateful that we know more than we've ever known about the Bible, and we're more mature in Christ than we've ever been. But Jeremiah, you remind me, we recognize more our neediness than we ever have. Seminary here has really exposed me to that. Grateful to God for it.